What are your expectations and what does he bring to the roster?
Yeah, the guy that I would probably consider the biggest X factor in this entire Sixers team, and I think the expectations are still a little uncertain. I personally am not ruling out the chance that he can develop into the potential starting power forward on the Sixers team, but obviously still a lot to be seen, that he has not played in the NBA for several years at this point. I will say some of the distinctions from the last time we saw him at the NBA level: very different style of play. He's more of a traditional big man when he was suiting up with the Celtics. He's also cut some weight, definitely put on some muscle, and is much more physically imposing than was the case. And most notably, he's improved that three-point shot overseas. That's become a more regular part of his shot die. He's kind of embraced being one of these true stretch forward / power forwards positionally, and that's exactly what this Sixers team needs. So as you mentioned, getting some glowing reports out of training camp, the energy is there. He's clearly hungry for a second opportunity at the NBA, so I'm very excited by what Yabusele could bring to the Sixers team, and a guy that I think could raise the ceiling more than people are giving credit.
Love it, man. I mean, he's really the only true power forward on this roster at this point in time until they make a move come January. We'll be talking about KJ Martin in just moments. But you mentioned the shot, 46.1% from three last year. That's really going to be, his make or break during his time in Philadelphia, how consistent that shot is. There's a guy that's capable of putting the ball on the floor. He sees the floor generally okay. He can finish in traffic. He can dominate a mismatch. His dribbling game isn't great, but it's still better than like a guy like PJ Tucker. And in terms of area to improve, I think it's just how real that three-point shot is. Like, you look at Yabusele's three-point attempt rate. He put up 5.5 shots per 36 in the ACB, around 4 per 36 in the EuroLeague. Not great volume, about neutral to above average at best when it comes to playing defense. He has a good motor. He's got good size. I'm really curious to how he looks defending the perimeter as well. It really comes down to this: can he be a better defender than Tobias Harris? And I do think there's upside there. What are some of your expectations or predictions for the 2025 season?
Yeah, I'll just say competing for the starting lineup is one of my hopes for that. Cool. But I do think that this is like a for sure top 7 guy in the rotation. That's what I would like to see from him. And I know like the Olympics, we always view in a slightly different lens. Obviously, stylistically, the basketball is slightly different. But the reality is these are the best players in the world. Like him having his moment at the Olympics where France was the silver medal team and coming up just short to the United States, that is like notable there, that he was starting on that team. So I understand a little bit of the skepticism that we all want to see that it's real and that it translates, but I think I'm buying into the shot and that volume a little bit more than I think probably the general consensus there.
All right. Areas to improve, I'm going to put perimeter defense. Is the shot real? Rebounding?
Yeah, I guess rebounding. The numbers don't jump off the charts, although I was pretty impressed with what I saw from him at the Olympic level, the way that he kind of committed to the board. So I guess rebounding, because that's such a need on the Sixers team, but it's tough to put a finger on it because obviously this is probably the guy that we've seen play the least amount of basketball from everyone that we'll talk about. Yeah,
for sure. There's a lot of veterans we're going to be talking about. So that's a little bit on Guerschon Yabusele. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see how he is defensively. I think he could defend a 3 through 5. I like his fit with Andre Drummond. There's a lot to like. Right there with Caleb Martin as one of the more underrated signings for the Sixers.